The boxing world is buzzing after the intense clash between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. The two fighters, who have a long history dating back to their amateur days, added another chapter to their storied rivalry in their recent showdown. Lamont Roach is no stranger to Davis. Their past encounters only heightened the stakes for this fight. Even though Roach's father and trainer, Lamont Roach Sr., has witnessed Davis's evolution into a boxing superstar, their past familiarity did little to ease the high tension and electric atmosphere that surrounded the event. Before the fight, Roach declared with unyielding determination, "My mindset is to beat him." In November 2023, Roach had claimed his title by defeating Hector Luis Garcia on the undercard of David Benavidez's triumph over Demetrius Andrade. He went on to defend his title against Fergal McCrow on ProBox TV before setting the stage for a career-defining matchup with Davis, arguably one of the biggest opportunities a boxer could seize. "This camp is different because I feel like they are counting me out," Roach explained, his words echoing with a mix of defiance and anticipation. At 29 years old, Roach's determination was further fueled by candid remarks from former undisputed champion Terence Crawford. Crawford stated that in today's boxing landscape, only his close friend Shakur Stevenson and stablemate Kesson Davis possessed the skills to deliver a significant defeat to Gervonta Davis. Known as a relentless finisher, Davis has built a reputation for forcing opponents into retreat with his overwhelming power. His recent victories include stopping Frank Martin in his sole fight of 2024, following a knockout win over Ryan Garcia the previous year. Despite the daunting challenge posed by Davis, Roach Jr. appeared undaunted, a situation reminiscent of Muhammad Ali's legendary bout against George Foreman. What followed became the stuff of legends, reminiscent of classic showdowns that etched themselves into history. On March 1st, Roach wasted no time in making his mark, boldly proclaiming that the world might soon witness the rise of a new WBA lightweight champion. "March 1st sounds like," he began, setting the tone for a fight that transcended routine title defenses or challenges. It was deeply personal. Their rivalry dates back to 2011, when Davis bested Roach twice as an amateur. Now, over a decade later, Roach was hungry for redemption and wasn't afraid to voice it. However, Davis has a reputation for never backing down, especially when the trash talk begins. The moment Roach Jr. started speaking, Davis fired back with a quip. "March 1st sounds like a don't worry baby, you'll be home soon from the hospital."
He has pointed out that he saw Davis in the amateur ranks and is already familiar with the 135-pound champion's precision power style. He has underlined his motivation to begin fulfilling his dreams of building a legend. He has observed the money-making platform that would ensue from an upset win. He added, "But what he has yet to do is to present a convincing outline for how he can solve a puzzle that has produced a lengthy series of spectacularly violent knockouts and made Tank Davis one of the biggest and most upwardly mobile names in boxing." Crawford undoubtedly left out the Reaper's name as one of the people who will ultimately let Tank Davis to taste the bitterness of defeat. Lampley said, "Even if Tank did not possess his shocking punching power, he would be an elite lightweight on the basis of his crafty boxing, southpaw-style advantage, clever footwork, and visible killer instinct. But it is pure power that really sets him apart. He doesn't just beat his opponents, he annihilates them in breathtaking, often scary fashion." He added, "Like a career predator, he approaches his kills patiently, behaving like a counterpuncher, and then suddenly explodes into irrepressible violence to produce sudden finishes. His knockouts are picturesque, not unlike what we saw from Mike Tyson in the developmental stage of his career. Davis is now well beyond the developmental stage."
Fans quickly took to social media, flooding it with a range of reactions, from enthusiastic approval to outright dismissal, clearly relishing the playful yet fierce verbal sparring that preceded the bout. The build-up was further intensified when Terence Crawford, alongside Shakur Stevenson and several others, rallied behind stablemate Kesson Davis. At a press conference, now crowned the double WBO lightweight champion, Crawford addressed the potential showdown with Gervonta Davis. When asked about the prospects of an upcoming title unification, he simply shrugged, remarking, "Whoever," before adding that Davis is fully aware of the challenges he faces when stepping into the ring with fighters like Shakur or Kesson. Amid the hype, familiar critiques of the aging Davis resurfaced, as pundits and fans alike dissected every comment and nuance. In a sport where history and rivalry intertwine, this fight has reignited old grudges and set the stage for a battle that promises to be as thrilling as it is personal. Crawford noted that Davis has been facing opponents who simply don't measure up to his skill level. They might show some ability, but mentally, they won't be able to keep pace throughout the fight, he said. Lamont Roach Jr. echoed this sentiment on an anonymous list. Crawford notably omitted the Reaper's name, insisting that it will be Shakur and Kesson who eventually give Tank Davis his first real taste of defeat. Those two are the ones who will ultimately end his unbeaten run, the Nebraskan concluded.
Lampley also mentioned that, in his analysis, even if Davis didn't possess his jaw-dropping punching power, his crafty southpaw style, clever footwork, and visible killer instinct would still make him an elite lightweight. He doesn't just beat his opponents, he annihilates them in breathtaking and often terrifying fashion, Lampley remarked. Comparing Davis's approach to that of a seasoned predator, he explained that Davis patiently sets up his counters before suddenly exploding with an irrepressible raw power that leaves his opponents stunned. His knockouts, Lampley added, are picturesque and reminiscent of the early, ferocious days of Mike Tyson's career. While Davis is now well beyond the developmental stage, he continues to outclass and shock his competition. Despite Lamont Roach Jr.'s claims of having improved, Lampley believed that the outcome of this Saturday's bout was clear.
When I said it on Twitter, it went viral when I said the top 5 thing. A lot of people agreed, a lot of people disagreed. Tank said I was a meat lover. He came in, he was like, oh, this guy, you a meat lover.
But Tank would never even think about hesitating to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
In summary, Garcia's insights underline his belief that Tank Davis is not only the favorite in his upcoming bout against Lamont Roach Jr., but also that Davis's potential future opponent should be someone who brings both skill and the kind of fan-friendly action that Davis embodies. For Garcia, a fight between Davis and Stevenson, despite its potential for technical brilliance, might not deliver the excitement that fans crave, leaving room for other matchups, such as a bout with Lomachenko, to capture the imagination of the boxing world. Whispers from the gym suggest that he's not only overwhelming opponents in the ring, but is also leaving much heavier sparring partners battered behind closed doors. Veteran boxing commentator Jim Lampley predicted before the fight that Gervonta Tank Davis would secure his 31st career win and notch his 29th knockout against Lamont Roach Jr.
Hey yo, first and foremost, shout out to Lamont Roach and Tank. That was a great fight. I enjoyed it. But yo, I'm making this video because for the whole build-up, y'all were killing me over my victory over Lamont, saying that he wasn't worthy of the Tank fight. But at the end of the day, I don't care what y'all say, I got that W. That's all I'm saying. I got the W.